You're at a watch meetup. Someone hands you a submariner. You check the weight, the sweep of the second hand, the way the bezel clicks. It passes every test you know. It's fake. And the guy who sold it to you isn't a street vendor. He's on a marketplace with buyer protection and a verified badge. That's not a scam story. That's just where the technology is now. Let's take it apart. What people assume is that fake watches are still what they were 10 years ago. Sloppy castings, a quartz movement rattling around inside a case that says Rolex in a font that's slightly wrong, the kind of thing you spot from across the room and definitely feel on your wrist in the first 10 seconds. What's actually happening is that the top tier of the counterfeit market, the watches collectors call super clones, has closed almost all of that gap. These aren't back-alley knockoffs. They're built with multi-axis CNC machining for the case, laser-engraved rehaut text, ceramic bezels with UV-resistant pigment, and 904L stainless steel, the exact steel alloy Rolex uses. Some come with cloned movements, built to replicate real Rolex calibers like the 3235, closely enough that the weight, the winding feel, and the power reserve all check out. Industry estimates now put super clones at 95 to 99%, identical to the real thing. The old advice, check the weight, check the sweep, check the date font, doesn't reliably work anymore. Some of these pass a casual inspection by an actual authorized dealer. And they're not cheap to make anymore either. A few years ago, a top-tier fake ran $400 to $800. In 2026, that same tier runs $600 to $1,200 wholesale because the manufacturing genuinely got better. A cloned high-accuracy movement alone can cost the factory around $95 a unit. This isn't a shortcut industry cutting corners. It's a parallel manufacturing industry investing in precision the same way the real one does. So the fake isn't just fooling you anymore. It's fooling the person whose entire job is not being fooled. It gets worse once you leave the watch itself. Counterfeiters are now faking the paperwork, too. Warranty cards with working NFC chips, UV holograms that scan correctly, full provenance documents attached to a watch that never came from an authorized dealer at all. Some fakes get paired with a real, stolen movement or case to pass even deeper inspection. The forgery isn't just the object anymore. It's the entire paper trail that's supposed to prove the object is real. Here's where it actually lands on you, the buyer. Swiss Customs estimates that 30 to 40 million counterfeit watches enter circulation every year. Some analysts estimate up to 30% of luxury watches sold online may be counterfeit. And if you do end up with one, whether you knew or not, most homeowners and travel insurance policies explicitly exclude counterfeit goods from theft or damage coverage. You can't insure it, you can't get it serviced by the brand, and you can't legally resell it as authentic. It's not a bad watch. It's a watch that legally doesn't exist. Customs is catching some of it at the border. In just 2 shipments through one port in mid-2026, officers seized watches with a combined retail value north of $80 million. Rolex was tied with Louis Vuitton as the single most seized brand name in the first half of the year, but that's what got caught. The whole point of a super clone is that most of them don't. So who's actually getting rich here? Factories in Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Foshan running a parallel luxury supply chain at a fraction of the cost, selling into a market that keeps handing over 4 figures for the illusion of a 5-figure object. Marketplaces collecting listing fees and transaction cuts whether or not what's being sold is real. And a growing authentication industry. Chrono24's own buyer protection program, eBay's authenticity guarantee, third-party services that physically inspect a watch before it changes hands, charging a fee to solve a problem the resale market created in the first place. The counterfeit and the authenticator are now both businesses that only exist because of each other. So here's the whole thing in one line. The fake watch industry didn't stay cheap and sloppy. It professionalized right alongside the real one. And the gap that used to protect buyers, the one where a fake just felt wrong in your hand, has almost completely closed. So the next time someone tells you they can spot a fake from across the room, you'll know. So can the dealer who sold one by accident.